The 2019 NBA draft class came in with really high expectations, and for the most part, I think they lived up to those. As we do every year, I'm going to be redrafting the most recent draft following the conclusion of the NBA season. So if you guys like my content, make sure you like and subscribe. Recently, I haven't been too consistent. If you guys want to see me get back to weekly uploads, let's try to get 5,432 likes on today's video, and let's hop into it. Starting it off with the number 1 pick, we've got the New Orleans Pelicans. Now this one's actually a lot closer in my eyes than I think in most. The ceiling of Zion Williamson is higher than anyone in this draft, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If he can stay healthy, he will be the best player from this draft. I really don't think that is a question, but the concerns we had for Zion going into the draft, such as injury risk and weight, have remained concerns throughout his rookie year. In the bubble, he didn't look like the jaw-dropping player we saw in the regular season. It's going to be very important for him to both stay healthy and stay on the court. While there's a player that really made a case this season to be that number 1 pick in a redraft, Zion's potential to truly become a franchise-altering player is too much for the Pelicans to not stick with their original selection. The decision right here for the Grizzlies is going to be easy. They're going to stick with their original pick in JimmerRange. Everyone knew JimmerRange was extremely talented. The only question was whether or not he was going to be a transformative player off the bat with the level of competition he had played really for his whole career. Those concerns were wiped away when he went out and won Rookie of the Year, averaging 18 points and 7 assists, shooting 47% from the field and 34% from 3. He was just one game away from leading his team into the NBA playoffs, and it really looks like the Grizzlies are in good hands for at least the next decade. In today's age, it can be hard to find the time to sit down and read a book. If you're anything like me, completing a whole book could take weeks or even months. You might think you don't have time to read a book or develop yourself, but you actually do with the app and today's sponsor that I've been loving, Blinkist. Blinkist has the best insights from over 3,000 nonfiction titles. They condense them into just 15 minutes. You can read them or even listen to them like a podcast. They have over 14 million users, and you can get access to all the titles while offline. If any of this sounds interesting to you, click the link in the description. The first 100 people to do so are going to get unlimited access for 1 week to try it out. You also get 25% off the full membership. If you guys do head over there, I recommend reading Warren Buffett's Ground Rules by Jeremy C. Miller and Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Thank you to Blinkist for sponsoring today's video. At number 3 is the New York Knicks, and this is where things really start to get interesting and we see our first big change. Originally, we saw RJ Barrett go here, and I'm completely fine with him still being the 3rd overall pick, but with what we've seen recently from the original 13th pick in the draft, Tyler Hero, they no longer go Barrett. I still think Barrett probably has the higher ceiling than Hero, but at this point, I don't see a scenario where Hero isn't an extremely impactful player going into the future. On the season, he's averaged 14 points, shooting 43% from the field and 39% from 3. He's gotten a rep as a knockdown shooter, but his game is way more than that, and I think we'll only see it expand as time goes on. I think his ceiling is actually pretty underrated. Some of the moves I see him make really make me think this kid is going to be special, especially considering he's already proven his ability to play a supporting cast role on a contending team. The Miami Heat have been one of the biggest surprises of this season, and a lot of the credit has been given to the addition of Jimmy Butler and the breakout of Bam Adebayo, but a name that needs to be brought up more is Hero, a guy I'm just really excited to see grow in Miami. We've got another interesting one at 4. That's the New Orleans Pelicans selecting RJ Barrett. Now, obviously, when this draft originally happened, we saw the Pelicans trade this selection to the Atlanta Hawks, who ended up taking DeAndre Hunter, but this time, that's not happening, and the Pelicans reunite Zion with his college teammate Barrett. Man, would this scenario be fun. Starting your career off in the Knicks is rough. It's hard to put too much judgment on RJ for how his rookie season turned out. It wasn't incredible, but it definitely wasn't terrible, and I see a solid career ahead. I think he would benefit greatly joining a team like the Pelicans that have a much more competent roster. At number 5, we originally saw the Cleveland Cavaliers take Darius Garland. While I still believe in the talent, he does fall in this redraft, and now we see the Cavs go with Coby White, who was originally the 7th overall pick by the Chicago Bulls. On a nightly basis, Coby White wasn't extremely impressive, averaging 13 points, shooting less than 40% from the field, but it was what he did in stretches that really bumps up his stock in this redraft. In the 8 games leading up to the suspension of the league, he went out there and averaged 25 points and 5 assists, shooting 48% from the field and 41% from 3. If he can even come close to that production over an entire season, the Cavs are gonna hit big here at 5. In the actual 2019 draft, we saw the Phoenix Suns trade down to 11 with the Minnesota Timberwolves, but again, that trade is not happening, and the Suns go ahead and draft PJ Washington. This spot is really tough, and you can argue a lot of guys. DeAndre Hunter, maybe Brandon Clark, but I've got them going with someone with just a little bit more upside with Washington. Washington averaged 12 points, shooting 46% from the field and 37% from 3. Shooting was his big question mark coming into the draft. We now know that's not a problem, so I really believe in his future. 7 is going to be the Chicago Bulls, who originally took Kobe White, but with him not being on the board, they go ahead and take former 4th overall pick in the draft, DeAndre Hunter. Hunter definitely didn't exceed expectations, but I'd be surprised if he let that many people down. I don't think the Hawks thought they were drafting a guy that was going to be a high volume scorer, or at least right off the bat. This season, he averaged 12 points, shooting 36% from 3. I expect him to be a very solid 3-and-D wing going into the future with the potential to be much more than that. I think a lot of people probably have Hunter going even lower than this, but I think right here is fair for now. Now here at 8, we've got the Atlanta Hawks, and there's a lot of choices, some that are much more safe, but I still think we've seen enough potential out of Cam Reddish to justify him being selected here. In fact, I don't mind the arguments at all of him going inside the top 5. On the season, he averaged 10 points, shooting less than 39% from the field, but that doesn't tell the full story. It's what he did in moments, it's the defensive potential he showed, and it's his game that just screams with superstar potential. As you guys know, I'm big into sports cards, and Cam Reddish is one of my biggest investment. At number 9, we've got the Wizards, who are just going to stick with Rui Hachimura. There's definitely a lot of options here, but Rui exceeded expectations, and I really think the Wizards were fine with their selection. At number 10, we've got the Atlanta Hawks again, and I've got them taking one of the biggest steals in Brandon Clark. Clark should not have gone where he did in the draft, and it would be a great piece to this Atlanta young core. He brings in a lot of defensive versatility and has shown growth as a floor spacer. Number 11 is going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they're taking another huge steal, and that's Kevin Porter Jr. If I'm a GM, I'm taking him even higher than this, but right now it's just too early to justify too much higher. The stats don't show anything crazy, but I'm telling you, watch the freaking tape. This kid is the real deal. At 12, we've got the New Orleans Hornets, who are going to take Darius Garland. Was he disappointing? Absolutely, but the talent is still clearly there. He had his college season cut short, then jumped into NBA action on a dysfunctional Jim Beeline-led Cavs team. I think we're going to see a big jump from Garland next year, and might even prove that he deserves to go way higher than this. At 13, we've got the Miami Heat, and because of their success this season, I have them taking a guy that'll make an instant impact and knockdown shooting wing Cam Johnson. Not sure the ceiling is too high for him, but at 6'9" this year, he averaged 9 points, shooting 39% from 3 on 5 attempts a game. With the last pick in the lottery and of the video, we've got the Boston Celtics. There's a lot of people they could go with. Eric Pascal makes a lot of sense. Maybe they take a chance on Jarrett Culver eventually reaching the potential we saw in college. But for now, I have them taking the original 8th overall pick, Jackson Hayes. This team needs help in the front court, and it's well in the realm of possibilities that Hayes can become one of the league's elite rim runners. Now, it might be pretty controversial that Eric Pascal wasn't able to crack the lottery in this redraft, but as of right now, while he was one of the top rookies, I'm not sure he has quite the long-term potential as some of the other guys we had on here, but who knows, maybe a year from now, I'll look back and question how I even thought that. But that's the video, guys. You guys tell me your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and the shoutouts are gonna be Callum, Blaze, Sherwin, Ari, my cousin Andrew, and his friends from New Zealand. If you guys want to shout out on the next video, all you gotta do is like the video and comment liked or rep notification squad, and I'll shout 5 you guys out. With all that being said, hope you guys have a great day, and peace.